Hello, my crafty friends. It's Tuesday, and I am bringing you a Mixed Media Fridays with Miranda and Tuesday for Cheeky Studio. And I am just going to get messy on this American Crafts cardstock, and I'm going to put some clear gesso down first and let that dry. And then I'm going to go in with what is called a glimmer screen. So I don't know if you remember Glimmer Mists or if they're still in business, but they made these screens that I'm going to use as a stencil. They're not really designed for that. They're kind of thin, but I'm going to give it a go with my heavy gesso. So that's what I've gone to grab here. And they are just these large snowflakes. They're called winter crystals. And I think they are lovely. And I never get a chance to do anything winter. So I was looking through the Cheeky Studio products and I was thinking really outside the box. Like, what could I do with a product that you would not suspect I would do as far as like use of the product? So sometimes people, look at products very literal, but and I do too a lot of times. So I have to challenge myself to look outside of that and say, what can I do with something that is, named or labeled or for use for a certain time of year or theme. And so I love my Easter 2018 sequin mix. I think it's a lovely mix of blues. And so since this is a winter layout, I decided what better way to use spring and Easter sequins and just do a complete opposite. So at summertime, I'm going to do a winter layout with spring products. And that's what I do. And I like the way it turned out. It's not my favorite layout, but I do like the way it turned out, especially the mixed media part. It's more or less the ephemera that I just never do winter. It's in Texas. It just doesn't get that cold. Now, last winter was horribly cold for a long time. And usually when I travel, I only go to warm places when I can. So the fact that I go up north with Bab, this is a layout in Canada actually. The fact that I go up there because that's, an area he's from, gives me an opportunity to do something a little out of my norm. So it was quite the adventure. I had never been to Canada before, and we went up there for his grandfather's funeral, and we decided to spend a day going into Canada and going to a casino there on the border of Michigan and Canada. So we had some fun. And I'm just getting the Shimmers products from the shop and making a lovely mess on this background. And I'm purposefully putting the product where I want it so that I can nestle that picture to the right. And you're going to see me do that. Now, I took the picture. It was actually 4 pictures, but they weren't the greatest, loveliest pictures. And we have plenty of selfies. So what I did was I took 4 pictures and shrunk them down in Diptyque. It's an app for Android. I don't know if you can get it for iPhone, but I love it because I can put, 2 pictures or 1 picture that's a 4x4 or, it's just an easy way to manipulate photos. And some of your not so great photos you can put into a quadrant like this, and it just makes it easy. So, and then I printed it off, at home. I sent it to my email and then printed it off. So I am just going to trim off the edge of this white cardstock, and I grabbed some paper from my winter citrus twist kits. I think I grabbed some of the papers and products from November and December of 2017. And here, I just want to give you an idea. If you're going to do mixed media, I know one of the things that people don't like is that it warps your paper, but there is a trick that you can do. So you do want to use a full sheet of background paper to secure this. Now, it doesn't have to show like my blue is showing, and I don't know the name of that paper, but you just take one, well, every couple of inches you want to add some strong adhesive, and you want to lay down one side, and then you want to basically lay down and stretch. It's called stretching the canvas if you do it with canvas. So you're just going to kind of push it down along from one side to the other, and that way you don't get bubbles, and it's got a nice strong tack. Like score tape is a nice strong tack, and that way it lays flat for you, and you don't have to worry about the warping in your layouts. So that's a good tip to know in case you ever do mixed media or you're afraid to because of the warping, because it's an easy fix, especially if there's a background paper that you don't really love the whole paper, but you can use just an edge of it, or you can use the entire thing and just cover it up with your watercolored background. So I've done that too. I've gone, what am I going to do with this? So I either use a cut file to cut out a cut file that, you know, is on a paper I don't like, or I will, you know, do something like this and stretch the canvas onto it. So here I'm just figuring out which side of this crepe paper, fa la la paper that I want to use, and I decide that I'm going to go with the red. No, do I do the red first? No, I think I do. Yeah, I do the red first, and then I do the black and white. And I like just that little touch of red. And you can see there my photo has the 4 quadrants, and you can tell that they're not the greatest pictures, and that's why it was easy peasy to cut them down and put them on the layout. So I'm going to trim off that little edge, and there it is going to nestle perfectly where I had pre-planned to do it anyway. So I'm not sure where these envelopes came from. I know that I didn't like the background. I want to say it was from the May Citrus Twist kit, but I don't know the company that made the actual paper. So I want to guess it's crepe paper here plus there, but as usual, I don't usually remember names and titles and things. So I'm gonna put down each one of these little envelopes. You know, that little pattern on the back of the envelopes reminds me of the show Lost. So they had that little, it almost looks like a radar. They had those all over the island that people tried to find, and there were maps. And anyway, I may be, you know, talking about something you don't know about, but that's what it reminded me of. But it was orange, and I don't use a lot of orange. So I cut them into the envelopes on the B side, and, or maybe that was the A. No, I think that was the B side. And then the little cut apart from the Citrus Twist cut aparts is where I got the navy and white polka dot, and I just date stamped it with the date with my Heidi Swap roller date stamp because it's my fave. And here I am pulling in the sweater weather ephemera that I got in the kit. And believe me, I never thought I'd figure out a way to use these, but I did. So yet another challenge completed. This little strip is just a branding strip that I cut off and I tore. And that was in my scraps, and I'm going to glue that down because things do not like to stick to gesso. And I believe that was the Maggie Holmes Carousel branding strip. And here I am going for some ephemera that was in my June kit, and that's by the Elle Studios Noteworthy Collection. So I will have a link to Miranda's channel in the description bar below. Make sure you hop over and see her take on Mixed Media Friday. We do this every other Friday, and although I am trying to use a lot of my Citrus Twist kits, it's really the only kit I get, and that's the only way I get new product, honestly. But I do have good news. I am starting a kit club for Cheeky Studio, and so I will be offering that. Now, the first 24 subscribers that I receive will be getting 25% off. That won't apply until your second kit, but there's just a 6-month or a 12-month commitment. I haven't worked out all the details, nor is Alan here. He's traveling for business, but we're going to figure it out in the next few days, and we're going to have a tab on the website that says Kit Club, and you can subscribe there and get you some cheeky love. So we are excited to bring that to you. It is going to be based around our ephemera packs, and so it'll be different every month. Some months will be stencils and stamps and tags, but it's always going to have my ephemera, and the colors and the products will always be based around that. And yeah, we're pretty excited. Make sure you sign up early, because 24 is not a lot, but I just want to make sure before I invest a lot of product, because I am going to be buying some outside product in order to match everything, just because I can't do it all. I'm just one person, although I have a wonderful design team. So that is new news. So, also, I am out of my comfort zone using these boy stickers. So those came in a winter kit, and they're called Boys Fort. And it said so serious, and it said business. But one of our sayings is serious business. And so he always says if we ever have a band, it's going to be called Serious Business. And I thought that was appropriate. And I thought, well, I'm going to pull in some of my stamps or something else before I hit it with these sequins. And I went back to the Boys Fort stickers. So I'm Not Lost is appropriate for me, because most people would look at this and think I was lost, because I don't do cold places or winter. Break the Rules is very appropriate as well. I'm usually somewhere warm and toasty. So here's where I bring in a bunch of the Cheeky Studio sequins, and I'm going to sprinkle them around just haphazard. Where they fall, and I'm going to glue them down. I really like them all over the page, because since it's got the snowflakes and it's winter, I just thought it would add some sparkle and some glimmer, and I just love it. I love the way it turned out. I love that I thought of going complete opposite by doing winter and the summer, and some spring sequins, for a winter layout and all of that. So I love the way it turned out. The only thing that really bugs me is I'm not used to winter ephemera. But I think it's adorable. I do think it's adorable, so I'll get over it. But yeah, make sure you check out Miranda's channel. Make sure you keep on the lookout for the Kit Club if you want to join us. I would love, 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 love to have you. And click that little bell if you want to see the next Mixed Media Friday. We do it every other Friday. And we also have exclusive Cheeky Studio channel layouts that go up. I do mine on Saturdays. I know starting in July, I'm also going to have Lisa and Miranda post, and I believe that's going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So stay tuned for that. You're not going to see that content on their channel or my channel. It is exclusive to Cheeky's channel, so go sign up there as well. And yeah, I think that's it. I appreciate you watching, and I will have another video for you very soon. Ta-ta for now. Bye.